Welcome back, everyone. I'm Philippe Khan, and this is your Daily Driver for Friday, March 20th, 2009. Welcome to the show. Wanted to start today with some fact, then we'll move on to some rumor and maybe a little bit of fiction in just a second. But first, the facts. BMW today has released pricing on the 2009 Z4 S-Drive 30i and Z4 S-Drive 35i. Drum roll, please. The 30i will start at $45,750 and the Z4 S-Drive 35i starting at $51,650. The option list looks pretty much standard stuff for BMW. Mirrors a lot of what you'll find in the 3 Series. For example, an iPod USB for $400, comfort access for $500, heated seats for $500, metallic paint for $550. The most notable thing on the option list, at least from what I could see, was the pricing for the 7-speed double clutch transmission. That's the optional transmission in the S-Drive 35i, the 7-speed DCT, based on the same technology you'll find in the M3's 7-speed MDCT. In the Z4 S-Drive 35i, that technology will cost you just $1,525. That's compared to $2,700 what that will cost you in an M3. It's not available on the 30i. The 30i gets a regular sport automatic transmission with paddle shifters for $1,325. And incidentally, you can't get an automatic in the 35i. It's either the 6-speed manual or the 7-speed double clutch. And in the 30, it's either the 6-speed manual or the 6-speed sport automatic transmission with paddle shifters. A lot of folks have pointed out that this is a fairly significant price increase for the Z4s, and that does follow with the low volume car that it's supposed to be and the fact that it's now built in Germany, and it costs a lot more money to pay German workers than it does American workers. The Z4, up until this model year, was built in Spartanburg, South Carolina, which allowed it to be a lot more affordable than it is now. Also, one other thing that I want to note is that BMW did go to great pains to actually mention one specific competitor in this pricing press release, and it says, quote, "The new pricing structure allows us to position the all-new Z4 against the aging products of our competitors at a price level that does not exceed that of a comparably equipped SLK." We're talking about the Mercedes right there. So they go out of their way to mention that even though this is a lot more car than the SLK, it ain't a lot more money. So that's probably the strategy right there. They're positioning it directly against the SLK. No mention of any other competitors, the Boxster namely, or the Cayman, or the S2000 on the low end. Just the SLK, and it looks like BMW has set their strategies right there. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is fact. What we're going to talk about right now ranges into the realm of rumor, and I found this on the interwebs today. An article stating that a BMW spokesperson, an unnamed BMW spokesperson, says that BMW will not be creating a full-on M version of the Z4, and they are citing the fact that given the current economic crisis, there's no business case to be manufacturing that sort of an automobile. A disappointing turn of events. Also, it seems to be that there's not going to be a Z4 Coupe this time around. Looks like this hardtop convertible is going to take the place of both the Coupe and the convertible in the Z4 lineup. And if this story is to be believed, I guess we're to hear that there's going to be no M version of this car either. A little bit disappointing for me personally, not just because I happen to own an M Coupe, but because I think that the wording of this rumor is a little bit interesting. For them to say that there is no business case to make a Z4, their lightweight 2-seat convertible, yet there is a business case to make an M version of their 5,000-pound SUV in the X5 and X6 seems, quite frankly, laughable on its face. If you can't make a sporting car for the more discerning sport buyer, but you can make a sport version of an overweight SUV, well, then it would seem that the M division has lost its way, ladies and gentlemen. All right, moving on, we've got an update to a story that we brought to you here on the Daily Driver a week ago, and I'm talking about talk of a planned merger between Daimler and BMW, originally reported in Der Spiegel, also picked up by Business Week, saying that Daimler and BMW were going to do a stock swap, 7%, where BMW would take 7% of Daimler and vice versa. Today, we've got news from that same publication, Der Spiegel, that agreement has been quashed And for that, we can thank the Quandts. Yes, the Quandt is in the family that owns 46% of BMW. And there's more than a little bit of irony here, folks. If you are a fan of BMW history, you know that in the late 1950s, Mercedes was actually on the verge of acquiring BMW, which at the time was a very, very troubled company, couldn't make a commercially viable vehicle, save for perhaps the Isetta bubble car and, of course, our motorcycles, which sustained us through so much of the 1950s. It was Herbert Quandt who assembled a small group of investors in 1959, which staved off the takeover attempt by Mercedes, by Daimler. And now it would appear that this same family, his descendants, are saying no voulez-vous to an arrangement which might bring some close cooperation between these two iconic German car makers. And it seems that inside sources there are saying that the fear is that this might lead to some sort of a takeover attempt by Daimler of BMW. It seems a little unlikely given the financial health of Daimler, which is not as good as that of BMW, but that would be the reason. All right, folks, that's enough for the news. What I want to announce today is that I, Philippe Quandt, will be coming up with a new segment, which the working title is going to be European Delivery Made Easy in 129 Simple Steps. And basically, it is going to be tracing my progress from order to delivery and redelivery here in the States of European delivery. I will be going to Europe in May to pick up a car over there, and I basically am going to be tracking my progress all through the process, not just as a little travel log, but to let you guys in on the process, let you know how easy it is, and to show you graphically just how fun it is. Again, European delivery made easy in 129 simple steps. Stay tuned for that. For now, I'm Philippe Quandt, reminding you that it's much more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. Good day, ladies and gentlemen.